Hey, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rachab Kadash, the honors under the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, the elders of Great Millstone, and of course, peace and blessings under the hopeful elect. There's sincere servants of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, serving him in truth and sincerity. Yes, I'm the brother Chayaba from ZMS Plain Temples Camp, coming back with another lesson to his spirit. Yeah, so this lesson will be based off of this article from nationalnews.com, which is entitled, it says, Trump's 125% tariff triggers panic among Chinese Amazon sellers. And hey, I just did a lesson on this, but hey, Spirit touched on me to do it again because it's even worse. It says Trump raised tariffs on Chinese imports at 125%, shocking Chinese Amazon sellers. And hey, pretty much the previous lesson I just did, it was touching on this. Touching on how Trump was going to raise the tariffs in response to, China's response to Trump's initial tariffs. But hey, it shows you that we are in those times where tensions between these nations are of course rising and rising. As we know, of course, America, according to the scriptures, according to the Holy Bible, is Babylon Great. Within Revelation, whenever you see Babylon Great spoken about within Revelation, is speaking about America. That's exactly what it is. And hey, as we keep moving closer and closer unto the coming of Yahushai, the very end of Esau's world, Esau being, of course, a so-called white man, which his main country is America. But as we keep on moving towards the end of Esau's world, things will keep on getting worse until America is 100% destroyed within World War III, because the scriptures prophesy about how Babylon Great, which is America, will be destroyed 100% by nuclear fire by these other nations. As well, once Yahushua comes back, who the world namely called Jesus, he's coming back to deliver his elect, his people, the elect of the nation of Israel, of course, within Babylon Great. Of course, he's going to get the innumerable multitude, the rest of the scattered, the elect among the whole world. And of course, Yahushua will be aiding in the destruction of America by sending, of course, his chariots, the so-called UFOs, sending his chariots, the angels are piloting the chariots, which are the so-called UFOs you see flying in the sky. They're going to be emitting high concentrated fire upon this place. You can get pretty much the energy that the highly or pretty much what the powerful energy that these chariots will be able to emit upon this place, man, and upon those who receive that judgment. In 2 Ezra chapter 13. 2 Ezra chapter 13. So it says, Chinese sellers dominating Amazon now face survival challenges in the U.S. market. Many sellers are raising prices up to 30% or abandoning the American market entirely. Critics warn of consumer price hikes, while supporters see a path to revitalize American manufacturing. The move represents a broader shift toward economic, nationalism and reduced dependence on China. There you have it, man. And they shows, once again, read this. Isaiah chapter 19:4, it says, And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, say the Lord, Yahweh of hosts. Exactly. And of course, the modern day Egypt is America. The scriptures speak about in Revelation chapter 11 and 8 how that great city is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Spiritually, this place is Sodom. The wicked, perverse, alphabet lifestyle is heavily pushed within America, as well as Egypt, because of the hard bondage that it has done onto us Israelites, so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos. We are the true biblical Israelites, as well as those who have been scattered amongst these other nations, who of course, through the Spirit, again, if you're able to understand this truth and you're able to serve Yahweh Bashmi Ashai in 100% truth and sincerity and do His will, then you are an Israelite, because no heathen has that. The heathen are hardwired to do that. They're hardwired to serve their own idols, their own gods. So, hey, it says, read again, Isaiah chapter 19:4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Yeah, and that cruel Lord, the fierce king, without a doubt, those descriptions match up onto Trump, this guy right here. With all with all these new bills and of course, and things that he's making come to pass, well, we understand how this is 100% what he matches those descriptions, man. And what he's gonna, a lot of people think he's gonna save America. No, he's gonna bring this place onto his destruction. Well, ultimately, he's gonna bring this place quicker and quicker onto his destruction. Yahweh Dazah, that this is the last term. Trump's term is the last one. And we can see that. And there's talks about him going on a third term if we make it that far. And getting real quick, Revelation chapter 18. And 9, it says, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication to live deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Yeah, of course, these other nations got rich off of America. And they also, not only have they got rich, they taken the ways of America within their own countries. The ways that America and the agendas that it pushes within its own country, these other nations have followed suit. And again, they use America to get rich by selling onto America and, doing different things that they did to obtain their wealth. Well, now that connection is being 100% strained with the Trump in office. And what is this? And of course, again, the tariffs is one of the many things, or what simply just one of the things that's going to bring, or gonna of course raise these conflicts between these nations, between America and these other nations, and leading on to World War III. Not saying that the tariffs are going to be the only reason, but again, is one of the big reasons, making these nations more and more angry. It says, Revelation chapter 18:10, standing far off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Yeah, and we just read, or you can read in verse 8, it says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall utterly be, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. Yeah. Her plagues, of course, being the ultimate plagues, being those nuclear missiles. And in just it says her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall utterly be burned with fire. Yeah, so the ultimate plague, the final plague, are going to be those nuclear missiles. When it says in verse 10, standing far off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Yeah. So this place will be burned up in 1 hour, 100% burned up and decimated in 1 hour by the nuclear missiles, as well by the chariots of Yahweh Bashmi Shai. The angels, they're going to be burning up this place as well. Joel chapter 3:9 says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Yeah, so war is being prepared. It says, be your plowshares and the swords and your pruning hooks and the spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong. Yeah, these other nations, they're once known as not having an advanced, pretty much military, advanced infrastructure, advanced whatever. Well, pretty much being advanced as a nation. Well, mainly, of course, to their military. But now we are in that time where these other nations, Russia, China, Iran, they're becoming stronger than America. Jeremiah chapter 50 and 9, it says, For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon. So this Babylon right here is speaking about Babylon Great. It's not speaking about ancient Babylon. It's speaking about modern day Babylon, because when you look at the ancient location of Babylon, this hasn't happened. When you read Jeremiah chapter 49, Jeremiah chapter 50, Jeremiah chapter 51, the Babylon mentioned in those scriptures is speaking about the modern day Babylon. It's not speaking about ancient Babylon. Because again, this hasn't happened unto ancient Babylon. It says, For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon. So Babylon Great, which is America. It says, an assembly of great nations from the north country. Yeah, assembly of great nations being the Russian Federation, and the north country being Russia. It says, And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. The arrow should be as of a mighty expert man, none to return in vain. Yup. And of course, the arrows being symbolic unto the nuclear missiles. The modern day arrow is a nuclear missile. It says, And shall be as of a mighty expert man, none to return in vain. Yeah, because once they're shot, they're going straight for their target, and they won't miss. Because ultimately, the spirit Yahweh Bashmiel Shai will be controlling, will be in those nuclear missiles. No matter if, the military wants the missiles to go here or go there. No, they're going exactly where they need to go by the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmiel Shai. So yeah, I believe the point. We're going to leave this article in the description, Lord's will. So we are in that time without a doubt, and Nero is back in office. Or Nero and of course, Nero is back through reincarnation, through Trump. So Lord's will, you brothers of the edified, Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, Bashim Kakodash Prakatham. Shalom.